Hi everybody, thank you for joining me for this week's question and answer video. I try to do these every Monday, and I'm answering your guys' questions from the last video, last Monday. Please go down in the description box, ask me anything you want. I'll answer it next video, okay? I recommend things every week, something. This week, I recommend that you acknowledge what you're grateful for. And if it's a relationship that you have, then do something nice for that person, okay? You'd be amazed what that does for us. Releases positive, good feeling hormones that you guys might be low in. Strengthens bonds, stuff like this, okay? Try to do that. Something you're grateful for. You can say down below what you're grateful for. That'd be great. And even what you did for someone nice. Small gift, food, something like that. Compliment, even. Make someone else feel good, okay? That's my recommendation. Let's get into the questions. All I ask you guys is please tell us where you are from, if you can. If you feel comfortable giving us a brief general location. So, first question, let's see, is from Never Too Hard to Start Fresh. My youngest daughter has recently been diagnosed with borderline. We are living together and it has been very hard. I bet she is suffering from the aftermath of a painful 4-month hospitalization. Most of your coaching advice is to help folks to set strong boundaries and to end the toxic relationship. But this is my youngest child. She was originally misdiagnosed as bipolar 1 and given every possible high-dose medication or medicine for 20 years. But now it is clear she is autistic, as I always suspected. Her tantrums and manias were actually autism meltdowns. And finally, when she could no longer mask, she became catatonic, mute, and landed in the mental hospital, where they force injected her with those drugs. Now she is back home, anxious, agoraphobic. Her hygiene has regressed horribly, and she has no one to turn to but me. And sadly, she acts as though she hates Sadly, now she acts as she hates me. I'm sorry. We cannot get professional help because her records all say bipolar, and the shrinks are trying to get her back on the meds. She has finally come totally off them, went through 2 months of withdrawal, pacing, and sleepless. The system has not gained to help her besides dosing her with chemicals, but they stopped working and she doesn't trust them or me. I wish I could feel a shift in the dynamic between us besides all the clinging, codependency, and rage, because essentially I know she wants to be free of me and to finally feel secure in becoming an effective adult. As a parent, how can I enable that? I'm so grateful for your calm presence and steady temperament on these videos. You are such an enormous help. Thank you. Thanks. I'm really sorry. So sad. Some things I'd recommend is still professional help. You can get someone that specializes in autism to diagnose her as such. I don't know why you can't get professional help only because she's diagnosed bipolar. I understand if they want to know her records and what she's diagnosed with and then treat her as such, but they need to make their own diagnosis, okay? Often diagnoses are wrong, and most people like this don't have just one. Anyway, it's not just one or this or that. It could be both. And your daughter with autism could also have bipolar, could also have borderline, just to let you know. I would get her into therapy, talk therapy. If she wants to get better, feel better, try to help her understand how beneficial talk therapy is, to take the load off of you, too. And maybe we can get some other help. I know there's people that have groups that take care of groups of kids and students like this. Maybe you can get some free time during the week, few hours, to be involved in some other group with other autistic children. Maybe that'll help. I think it might be good to have her around other autistic children, someone she can identify or relate to, and also somebody working with her that can help her instead of just mom. Helping people with mental illness is very difficult, but when it becomes our family, it's such a strain. You're not a professional. And there's something about a professional can't help family anyway. This stress can be debilitating and cause disease. I'm not trying to scare you. I want you to be aware. Even taking care of some people, whether it's mental illness or physical abilities, maybe they're old and dying in final stages of cancer and stuff like this. Even professional caretakers can't do it very long. They recommend no more than 6 months or you could fall into depression, be suicidal. So on a family member, it takes a huge, huge toll. And there's things that you need to be doing for yourself that are so important. Take care of yourself. I hope you are. I would look into different classes and stuff that you can sign her up for. There might be someone in your city, a group or something that children go to, teenagers, stuff like this, even in their 20s, where someone will take care of all these people, and maybe kind of a school thing, whether it's arts and crafts and just going out, functions, school, whatever it may be. But I think that could help both of you to separate as much as possible. Doesn't that sound good? Yeah. You know, I'm sorry I don't have more suggestions on how or what you can do for your daughter. I'm sure you're doing everything that you know. It doesn't mean there's 100 different more suggestions. You just don't know. There might not be very many more. But I think it's vital that you take care of yourself and try to get somebody to take care of her, because you really can't. You can't give her the help that she needs. You might be able to physically take care of her and emotionally make her feel a little better. But that kind of stress it could damage you. Okay? Don't give up. Go search, look. Where are you from? Where are you? If you've told me before, I can't remember. Let us know. It's amazing how many questions I get about autism in this subject matter. I know that autistic behaviors can look pretty toxic, like they have a personality disorder, and they also can. They can have both. I don't know if you know that. I think getting the right professional help to give her the correct diagnosis can help her get the correct treatment. And like I said, some kind of class you can sign her up for. Sometimes it's just to do fun things. Roller skating, artwork. Like a school. Not so structured, but most autistics like that kind of structure anyway. Keep asking me questions so I can try to help you more. And I'm really sorry. I understand you don't give up on your daughter. Great mom. Most of us watching these videos don't have a mother like that. Thank you. Let us know where you're from. And Kelly, don't know where you're from. Kelly and Aaron, 2005. Thank you so much for your advice on my question. You're welcome. I truly appreciate it. It gave me a different perspective. I'm working through the pain and trauma of that relationship with online therapy and journaling. Good. That's why I read this. She's getting better from online therapy and journaling. I'm also thankful to have a very supportive sister. Watching your channel has been great for info as well. Your genuine caring for others always comes through. Thank you, Kelly. Good luck. All right. Rel Rodriguez from California. I remember you. Thank you so much for always answering my questions. This is part of my healing. I will always remind you how spot on and bloody good you are. Thank you for helping so many people heal. Even though you don't think so, you're an angel in disguise after helping so many people heal. Well, thank you. I'm not an angel, but thank you for the compliment. Anyway, each week that passes, everything makes more sense. I'm learning so much from you. After learning so much from you, I have a question regarding mimicking. I always thought that my ex-BPD was odd and strange in many ways. He would always mimic my children and yourself and you. If they would cry, he would mimic them. That's unbelievable. Or if I made a phone call, he would mimic me. If someone made a gesture, he would mimic the gesture. One of the oddest things he would do that I would absolutely hate is out of nowhere, he would play slap me and my children. He would play slap. Okay? He would play slap us on the cheek. Well, let's not call it what he likes to call his abuse. Right? You don't co-sign for that. You don't really think it's playtime. Right? So he just hits you and your children. Doesn't have to even hurt. The law here in the United States is that's actual domestic battery. He'd go to jail for that. Okay? So there's nothing playful about it, and he knows that too. Let's continue here. He would play slap us on the chest over and over. And I would for years tell him to stop, that it was annoying, and I would ask him why he would do that. He almost always response was, just kidding. Now I'm thinking he was most likely slapped his whole childhood. He told me he was abused in all ways. Or why do you think he did the slapping and all of the rest of the mimicking, especially the slapping? There's more examples, but I wouldn't want to make it so long. Also, can you make a video on mimicking and why they do this, why they do that? If there is more information on that, thank you. I think unstable people mimic. It's mirroring. That's something that children do at bonding, and very immature, screwed up people do that in adulthood. But and don't get me wrong. I mean, we all can mirror a little bit. I'm not going to go down that. But mimicking is mirroring. I think you're talking about mocking, right? Mocking. It's abuse. It's belittling and, but it's baiting. That's what we call this. I just made a video about this 2 to 4 weeks ago. You'll find it in the borderline playlist, or just scroll back a little bit. And in the titles about borderline and baiting techniques. That's what he's doing. He's baiting you. And it's physical abuse, and it's illegal. If I tell someone not to talk to me anymore, they're not allowed to talk to me anymore. If I have to tell someone not to hit me anymore, they're already breaking the law, abusing you. But if they continue to do it, he should be in jail. And then you tell him, when he gets out of jail, you just say, I was just kidding. Why is he doing it? He's doing it to control all of you. He feels like his life is so out of control, so mundane, boring, and crap, that he baits you and the kids to try to control your emotions. That's something important we don't understand. When we talk about controlling, what does that mean? Just, you gotta go this way, this. No. It's, I will scare the living hell out of you to make you scared. Now I'm in control of you. I can play on your vulnerabilities. You're broke. I'll give you some money. I can make fun of you. I can poke you. Right? It's all baiting techniques to control how you feel. Because he feels out of control. That's why people are controlling. Codependency is simply, I can't manage my life, I'll manage yours. I'll let everything go, fail on my side of my life. But I'll react to everything you say and do, and I'll try to protect you and do everything for you. What does that sound like? I hope that answered your question. Never let anybody abuse you or your children again. Okay? Just call the police. I'm sorry. User PM 4K I2UQ 5K. How are you? Frank. Good, you gave us your name. Thanks, Frank. Frank from Wyoming. I have a question for this week. I work for a toxic female boss who has BPD. She informed me of such. Ooh. She is very loud, or very rude, loud, passes gas in the office and never says, excuse me. Nice. She has already scapegoated me and goes out of her way to not include me in any projects. I just need advice on how to deal with her. Going to human resources is not an option due to her husband being one of the owners. Nice. Nice. I would imagine that means he'll do nothing. And if you went to him, or he finds out you don't like his wife in any way, then the codependent, right, will stick up for her and need to protect her and might be pretty aggressive towards you. Or just terminate you. She brought her sick dog in the office, who was throwing up all over the employees. Throwing up on the employees. That's great. She would yell if anyone made any quick moves around the dog. She is loud, aggressive, and grandiose. She treats everyone better than she treats me for no reason. Can you make any calls? Right? Like if this was a restaurant, the dog's in there, you could report it. And you could do it anonymously, like a customer. Like I would imagine a place like this cycles through employees fast. So when they get reported, they'll think it's the last employee they fired. Awful. There's not much I can tell you except get another job. And you asked me how to navigate this. Stay out of her way. Never show any attitude in what you're saying and what you're doing. I mean, you're walking on eggshells, so you can't do anything wrong. Don't emotionally react to anything she does. Just say, yes, okay. I mean, other than that, what can you do? I referred to sycophant, right? Just sit there and kiss her butt all day. You can do that. You can say, oh my gosh, that's such a good idea. Did you come up with that all on your own? Or is that just because you've been doing this so long, you know so much? Wow. Wow. Do you mind if I tell my other friends about this idea? Because it's just really good. I mean, that kind of disgusting, nasty, toxic behaviors. And if that's not you, you're going to start feeling pretty unstable acting that way. We can navigate. I can tell people how to navigate in a toxic marriage or relationship or friendship or workplace. I can tell you how to, get back at them and do all this stuff. But the problem is you start losing who you are. So it's like both of you end up suffering. I don't see any win out of this except leave. Right? You're not going to progress. You're not going to probably make more money. It's probably never going to stop. And if you don't like it or show that you don't like it in any way, you'll lose your job. So why don't you have a little control over that by getting a job on your own and not waiting to be fired? Yeah. A lot of times the workplace doesn't have to affect us emotionally. A lot of us have stressful jobs and we don't take them home with us and we have good lives. Some jobs, some professions, I'm amazed that people go home and they're fine, have families and all that. But we do. We're in a different part of our brain when we work. Both these different parts of brains really have nothing to do with each other. We can't be in both at the same time. So when we're at work, our personal life problems kind of subside. And then when we at home, our work problems tend to subside. If this causes you enough problems, this will leak into your personal life, if it hasn't already. And you don't have any control over her or her husband, the owner, right? So at this point, what do you want? Do you want to stay there? Do you want to leave? Right? I can't imagine you saying, I want to stay there. There's no job security. To think that I might lose my job at any moment. I mean, with someone who's really unstable, you don't even have to do something to get fired. They just perceive that you're doing it or that you might do it. It might be delusional and just create this false narrative. And so I could advise you to start doing things, like I said, kissing her butt, but now you're getting closer to her. When you get closer to someone like this, it gets more dangerous. So I can tell you to be a gray rock and walk around and, yep, okay, not be emotional, which would be good. Don't share anything personal or private with anybody. Don't even listen to when people want to tell you. But really, I can't imagine how we could stay there. I hope that you can get a job somewhere else. You can contact a lawyer, find out what your rights are, and find out some of the things that they're doing that are wrong. Try to build a case against them. It could cost you a lot of money. When the goal of work is to make money, it's not really benefiting you. See that? I hate when there's situations like this and people ask me questions and I can't give them better advice, but I just can't. I don't know. I don't think there's better advice out there except get a different job. Can't report it to human resources. You can't say anything to the owner, the boss. You can't just really wait for her to get fired. You can't go get her fired. I've had toxic bosses where they're totally toxic and I just point the stuff out to the owner that they never realized went on and they fire them. I get their job. Things like that can work out, but I don't know how with her husband being the owner. Yep, that kind of makes her an owner. Good luck. Keep asking me questions if you think I can help you more. Take care of yourself. Very important. Raise your heart rate every day. Make sure you get enough sleep. And be positive. Don't take your work home with you. Literally. Leave everything there. Don't do any work at home. This will get worse if those two overlap. Okay. Thank you. Sorry, Frank. Again, keep asking me questions if you think I can help. Here's what I wrote. Just want to see if there's anything else. No, I covered everything. All right, David. Don't know where you're from. You say, could you do a video on people who threaten suicide when trying to get you to do a favor for them or not leave them, huh? I just did. Oh, that's why I did it. Because this video for you, David, and everybody else. But you asked, and so I made it. I hope you got a chance to see it. It was just last week. Rory from Ohio. Hi, Rory. When you answer your answer in Big Dave from Tennessee's question about if you had any patterns you noticed in your life you were still working on, you mentioned being judgmental. Is being judgmental the same as discernment? Not quite. Not quite. Judgment is by the person saying it, and it's individual. It's their opinion. Where discernment is you're trying not let your opinion influence you, and you're just trying to state right and wrong. Does that make sense? What I mentioned about judgment is I always try to better myself, and something I work on is acceptance and just accepting people for being different and accepting my own mistakes and stuff like this. Other than that, that's the opposite of that is judgment. I'm judging myself. God, you're stupid, David. Or, God, what's wrong with that person? Why would they do that? God, they're this or they're that. Instead of understanding them, using compassion. See, instead of trying to relate with someone and only finding and seeing the differences. But judgment. Think of judgment as an opinion, and discernment as more fact. You're stating a fact. Does that help, Roy? Let me know. Thank you. Good to see you. Ali. Hope I got it right. I have a question for you. Is it possible for one person to have 1, narcissistic, 2, sociopath, and 3, psychopath combined? Yeah. It almost always is, actually. But as far as the diagnosis. So, sociopath and psychopath, the correct terms is antisocial. They have antisocial personality disorder. And everyone that's diagnosed with that can almost be diagnosed with narcissistic. People that are sociopaths and psychopaths are highly narcissistic, extremely entitled, very grandiose, massively exploited or exploitative. They'll only converse with people that are exploitative. They say sociopaths might have a little empathy, but no compassion, no remorse, zero. Sometimes narcissists do. Yeah. Hope that helped you. You're talking about 2 different disorders, not 3. And yeah, they definitely, personality disorders can very often be comorbid. You have 2. And that one, gosh, almost every time. Yeah, I'm just trying to keep away from always. I'm sure there might be cases where that's not true, but hope that helps. And then you asked me something else here. That whole thing about I'm just trying to help you. I'm just trying to help you. BS. If you really want to help me, then stay the hell out of my life with your toxic positivity. I don't need it. I agree. And that's a lesson for us all to learn. Yeah. Not too much we can help people with, but we definitely don't help people change who they are. Victoria from San Francisco Bay Area. Hi, Victoria. Hi, David. I was doing really good a year in therapy, 3 years with your life coaching videos. I was doing good until everything fell apart. Uh-oh. I'm not sure what happened. Is this normal in recovery? Yes. I don't know what you're saying, right? You're using very general words and terms, but yes, I hear this quite often. Now, what you do doesn't matter. Only how you feel about it, Victoria. You said you were doing really good. You mean that you were feeling really good, and now you feel really bad, right? And I'm sorry. We don't go backwards, and nothing fell apart. We just feel like it. Okay? Remember, our feelings aren't reality. They're real. You really feel this way, But I could feel like a horrible person right now. I'm not. And that definitely doesn't mean I am. Okay? So you were feeling really good and now you feel really bad. It's good to know why, Victoria. Be really easy on yourself. You did something you didn't like, forgive yourself and figure out, a way to not do that again. Express these feelings, very important. Write them down and tell people. Okay, you didn't even tell me how you're feeling. That's really common. Or that's really normal. And you use the word normal, there's nothing normal. There's no normal people. There's no normal relationships. There's no normal recovery or healing. We're all unique, and we all have unique experiences, and we all react differently, and we are on different life paths and journeys, okay? But just remember that we don't go backwards because time only goes forward, okay? And life has ups and downs, and recovery does too, and it ebbs and flows. But it's really important to make ourselves feel better. That's all that matters, Victoria, okay? Don't beat yourself up for something you did or what somebody else did to you. Make yourself feel better. Love yourself unconditionally. Forgive yourself no matter what. And say everything's going to be okay, and start doing things that make yourself feel better, and start telling people around you. Okay, tell your therapist. You're in therapy for 3 years. Is the therapist helping you, or you're not seeing them? Maybe you want to talk to someone. You can go back, talk to your therapist one time if you want. Okay? Okay, I'm sorry, Victoria. I'm sorry you feel down. I hope your whole life hasn't fallen apart. Maybe it hasn't. Maybe we just feel like that. And the pieces are easier to pick up than we thought. If you have some support, you can do anything. That's all the questions. Let me know what you guys think of my answers. Individuals that I answered, and all of you just watching. And please ask questions, and please support this video if you like this message and you want this message to spread farther. Like the video, share the video, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, okay? Thank you guys. Have a beautiful week, and most of all, love yourself first, okay? Bye.